in our Old Testament reading today, it's kind of tough in many ways if we get right into the tricky bit, which is this whole thing about bringing the Ark of God, the Ark of the Covenant, and that was like the symbol, but actually the reality of the presence of God. And so David, they want to bring it back into Jerusalem. They want to bring it into the centre. So Jerusalem has already been set up as like the place of power, the place where King David is setting up his place. But now it's not only like the place of political power, but then also this is the place where it's like we're going to put God right in the centre of our community again. Great. So they bring it back, having been able to defeat the Philistines that were holding on to it. They brought it back in, or at least they attempted to. And then this crazy thing happened. The ark falls. Someone puts out their hand to steady it, and they die. And it's like, what? That seems crazy. Like, almost, surely that's the right thing. Surely it was better that they put their hand out to catch the ark rather than letting it like fall on the ground. It seems harsh. David found that harsh. He was both angry with God and scared. But really, how many of you will remember when we were in Exodus? If we go back to when the instructions for the creation of the ark was there, it says in Exodus 25, when you do this, you're to make rings on the side of the ark, and you're to put poles through those rings, and you're not to carry it any other way. And in fact, later on in Exodus, it talks about the fact that the only people who are to carry the ark, because it is so holy. And remember, so much of the time that we spent in Exodus was about the things that were done in honour and to reflect this holy, perfect God. And because the ark is the presence of God, that being the case, that there were very specific rules about how it was to be treated. And that's where they went wrong. And the message for today, in many ways, is we are to do it God's way. That's the thing, is like, as we do life, we're to do it God's way. It is God's way and no other way. And that can be harsh for us sometimes, and sometimes we don't like that. Sometimes, like a bit like Dave, we're like, do you know what, I'm going to shelve that for a bit, because that's you're asking a lot here. And he asks us to do things his way. The walk that he has called us to, the life that he's called us to, is a life of sacrifice, is a life of obedience, is a life of doing it his way, the right way. And actually, when David comes to terms with that, and when he then brings in the ark the right way, everything is different. The celebration, there's still celebration, but now the celebration is marked by sacrifice. And that sacrifice that again speaks forward of the blood of Jesus, that's like the presence of God can't come without this sacrifice, without this the acts of sacrifice, the purifying acts, the reverential act that speaks of the cross. And they bring it in, and there's a massive party, so much that David's wife can't stand it. She despises just the how undignified David is. And I love David's response basically when he says, it was before the Lord I did that. It wasn't about you, it was about him. And David kind of in that sense comes full circle of just remembering about putting God centrally, and whatever that might ask of him, that was what he was going to do. And that's our lesson for us today, is that we would walk in obedience to God, doing it his way, even if that comes at a cost. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.